from the visit, so they will be joining us in a couple of minutes. And I also request Dr. S.N. Singh, Honorable President, IAAVR. Please welcome them with a round of applause, I request you. They are our esteemed faculty. And I request Dr. Rishendra Verma, sir, Founder Secretary and Organizing Secretary of 17th Annual Conference of IAAVR. And of course, Dr. R.K. Bagherwal. अभी तो डीजी साहब आए नहीं, वो कह रहे थे ना कि शुरू करें. Okay. These are very special moments for us when, as a professional, we assemble to deliver from our side our thoughts that are transformed into actions for the welfare of the nation and the global community as a whole. We are indeed honored to have amongst galaxy of our super seniors who have graced various positions and helped us in steering through our endeavors, including the professional endeavors. On behalf of the organizing committee, I extend my warm welcome to Guru Shreshths who have arrived here in special roles to guide us and bless us, in Dr. M.P. Yadav sir, who has been the director of this premier institute along with the director NRC, Equines, and former director Govind Vallabh Pant, V.V. Patel, Agriculture and Technology University at Meerut. I also welcome Professor P.K. Uppal, former director NRC Equine, and he was the one who headed that position for the first time and has transformed the institution to the global excellence. I welcome you, sir, to this special function. I also welcome Honorable Dr. Amresh Kumar, sir, who is the Director General of Khandelwal College of Management and Technology and formerly the Vice Chancellor of G.B. Pant University, Pantnagar. I also welcome on behalf of the organizing committee as well as my own behalf, the Director of Central Avian Research Institute, Dr. J.M. Kataria, sir, ADG Animal Health at the headquarters, Dr. A.K. Tyagi, sir, Director NRC Mithun, Dr. Mitra, Abhijit Mitra, former Director ADG Education, and Dr. D.T. Maurya, sir, who is the Director of National Institute of Virology, Pune, with many galaxy from medical and veterinary fraternity who have assembled here to give their valuable inputs. We are honored to have our chief guest of today's function, Dr. Trilochan Mahapatra, sir, Honorable Secretary DARE and DG ICAR. We are indeed honored to have his gracious presence today. We welcome you, sir, to this very special function for which you have kindly acceded to be the chief guest. I also welcome our Honorable Director and Vice Chancellor of this Premier Institute, Dr. R.K. Agrawal, sir, along with esteemed Joint Director Research, Dr. B.P. Mishra, sir, and of course, very dynamic Founder Secretary of IAAVR, and the Organizing Secretary of the 17th Annual Conference. Ladies and gentlemen, once again, I extend a very warm welcome to all of you from the core of my heart, especially to all the galaxy of invited guests and experts from abroad and India who have arrived here. All respected joint directors, HODs in charges, especially our superannuated seniors who have always helped us, guided us, trained us in our endeavors, all the colleagues and respected seniors from the scientific, administrative and technical streams of IVRI and CRI, distinguished chairman and the members from IVRI and CRI fraternity, along with the organizing committee, who have contributed immensely in organizing this gala event. The most important, very, very distinguished delegates who have come from every part of the country as well as from the abroad to give this conference a meaning, representative of the print and electronic media, dear sponsors, ladies and gentlemen. Let us begin this function by offering our sincerest prayers in the lotus feet of Ma Sharde, seeking her blessings so that we have the courage to follow the path of truth and we are blessed with the wisdom and knowledge. To do the honors, I request the dignitaries present on the dais, along with our Honorable Chief Guest, Dr. Tilochan Mahapatra, sir, to please lit the lamp in the lotus feet of Ma Sharde, the lamp of knowledge and wisdom that enlightens our inner being, and offer the garland to Ma Sharde. Thank you very much, sir, for doing the honors. As Voltaire has rightly said, the false science produces atheists, but the true science prostrates the man before divinity. Today, in this land of God, we are fortunate to worship the God Almighty in the form of the goddess of the knowledge. It's time to express our emotions and feeling in the lotus feet of Ma Sharde through this Saraswati Vandana. We thank these little hearts filled with innocence and purity that the God always bestowed on them for singing these beautiful prayers in the lotus feet of Ma Sharde. It's time when we proudly rededicate ourselves to the nation through our esteemed council and this institute which belong to the council, through the ICR and IVRI song.
जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की, सुखद प्रतीक हरित भारत की। कृषि धन पशुधन मानव जीवन, दुग्ध मत्स्य फल यंत्र सुवर्धन। वैज्ञानिक विधि नव तकनीके, पारिस्थितिकी का संरक्षण। शस्य श्यामला छवि भारत की, जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की। हिम प्रदेश से सागर तट तक, मरुधरती से पूर्वोत्तर तक, हर पथ पर है मित्र कृषक की। शिक्षा शोध प्रसार सकल तक, आशा स्वावलंबित भारत की। जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की, जय जय कृषि परिषद भारत की। मानव प्रिय कृषि सहचर हितरत, जय हो पशु संस्थान। भारत के कोने कोने तक पहुँचा नव विज्ञान। 19वीं सदी प्रथमोदय, पूना मुक्तेश्वर नव आलय। इज्जतनगर बना मुख्यालय, अभिनव अनुसंधान। बना विश्वविद्यालय, शिक्षण शोध चिकित्सा पशु संवर्धन। ग्राम अभ्युदय श्वेत क्रांति, सहयोगी शुभ वरदान। जय हो पशु संस्थान। विविध व्याधि के टीके निर्मित, रोग अनेक हुए उन्मूलित। वृंदावनी सदृश गौ विकसित, जन पोषक अभियान। मानव प्रिय कृषि सहचर हितरत, जय हो पशु संस्थान।
Now it's time to say the words of gratitude and welcome from the core of our heart. And to do this pleasant duty, I request one who is the custodian of research at this premier institute, one who is very focused in his job, as has been rightly said to him, to grasp and hold a vision, and that is the sense of successful leadership. I am saying so, inviting our very dynamic Joint Director, Dr. B.P. Mishra, sir, to please welcome the dignitaries and everyone who has joined the hands with us in this professional endeavor. Dr. B.P. Mishra, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Maulik. A very good morning and namaskar to all in this hall. Most Honorable Dr. Trilochan Mahapatra, Secretary Dare and Director General ICAR, the chief guest of today's function, Dr. Manmohan Singh, Special Secretary to Government of Andhra Pradesh, the guest of honor, Dr. Yashan Singh, the President of the Society, IAAVR, Dr. R.K. Singh, the Distinguished Director and Vice Chancellor of Indian Veterinary Research Institute, and Dr. Rishendra Verma, the dynamic Founder Secretary of IAAVR and Organizing Secretary of the 17th Veterinary Congress. We are indeed delighted and our pleasure of welcoming once again our most lovable Honorable Director General ICAR to be the chief guest of 17th Veterinary Congress at IVRI. We are indeed grateful to you, sir, for accepting our invitation and present with your hectic schedule for the inaugural session today, sir. We are very happy to welcome our guest of honor, who is a distinguished stalwart, and being present at this occasion as guest of honor is our privilege. I welcome the stalwarts of veterinary profession being present today for this occasion of the 17th Veterinary Science Congress. We are indeed very delighted to have the stalwarts of veterinary profession who are associated with the veterinary science and also the building of this very institute, and also the director of National Institute, our sister ICR Institute, Assistant Director General Animal Health, officials from ICAR, distinguished delegates from all across the country, from different fraternity of veterinary, medical, and other profession, delegates and my fellow joint directors, scientists, faculty, students, persons from media, print and electronic, ladies and gentlemen, I, on behalf of IVRI faculty, Director IVRI staff, and students, welcome you all to this very auspicious day and having the 17th Veterinary Congress organized at IVRI at a time when this very institute has completed its journey of 127 years. And for benefit of all those who are associated with IVRI or not, this very institute, a legend by itself and very fondly called the Mecca of veterinary science, has started its long journey way back in December 9th, 1889, from a small place called, the place was Government Agriculture College at Pune, and it was inaugurated by the then Governor of Bombay in a very small land of 2.2 hectares and named as Imperial Bacteriological Laboratory. This IBL, then in the year 1893, with the first director, Dr. Lingard, shifted to Mukteshwar because of the biosecurity concern at that particular time and the location of Mukteshwar. It started established at 1893 at Mukteshwar. The journey of IVRI in terms of contributing to the dreaded disease at that particular time to control rinderpest, the journey began from there. And today, in an era, and this 17th Veterinary Science Congress is addressing the thematic topic of new generation vaccines and diagnostics for animal health and productivity with a new dimension of incorporating genomic intervention. So the journey started in 1893 from Mukteshwar. The institute has contributed immensely. The one such mega achievement is the control of rinderpest, and the pillar erected at the very campus, mother campus of Mukteshwar in 2012-13. So this very achievement of the contribution of IVRI and this very institute, as it was primarily mandated to carry out animal health research, has contributed more than 100 vaccines and diagnostics which have been used for the country in the eradication of many diseases. The 4 diseases which have been eradicated from this country was primarily contributed by the research effort of scientists and the visionary leadership of this very institute right from the day zero at 1893. So with this background of 127 years, this institute has also a responsibility to see future and make our roadmap in a way that science, and veterinary science in particular, and animal health in that context has to grow further. So therefore, we are privileged and thankful to the IAAVR for selecting IVRI, and also to select a theme of 17th Veterinary Science Congress of New Generation Vaccine Diagnostics and Animal Health and Productivity vis-a-vis the genomic intervention for social benefit. This will cover many areas and many deliberations will happen, and we at IVRI being committed for leading the research from front, and we are committed to deliver some of the new generation and vaccines and diagnostics. Few of them are in pipeline, and we hope that in a year or so, they will translate into field. So with that commitment, I, on behalf of the faculty, students, staff of IVRI, most delightfully welcome all the delegates and all the honorable dignitaries on the dais to this very legendary institute called Indian Veterinary Research Institute, and I hope your stay for 2 days will be scientifically enriching and you will enjoy every moment of it. I once again thank you and welcome you all at this very institute. Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you very much, sir, for your words of welcome and thankfulness. Now on this land of yogis that has been blessed with all the seasons that help to grow the flowers through which we manifest our feelings in the best possible manner, we would like to thank the dignitaries in whom we see the reflection of the God Almighty by offering this bouquet of our love, affection, and respect. I request Dr. Tanya and Balendri to take this bouquet to Director Sir, Dr. R.K. Singh, with the request to kindly present this bouquet of our love, affection to the chief guest of today's function, very honorable Dr. Tilochan Mahapatra, Secretary DARE and DG ICAR. I now request Dr. Sanjeev, who is the executive member of this association, to please present this bouquet to the guest of honor, Dr. Manmohan Singh Ji, Special Chief Secretary, Government of Andhra Pradesh, to kindly accept this our love and affection. I now request Dr. Bagherwal, Professor of Medicine, MAU, and the Vice President of IAAVR, to present this bouquet of our love and affection to Dr. G.N. Singh, sir, to now present to Dr. S.N. Singh, sir, the President, very dynamic President of IAAVR. I now request Dr. Karada, the Executive Member of the Association, to please present this bouquet to very dynamic Founder Secretary of IAAVR and the Organizing Secretary of this Association, Dr. Rishen Verma, sir. And I once again request Dr. C.S. Sharma, Associate Professor from Tripura, to please offer this bouquet to our very own dynamic Joint Director Research, who has just presented the vote of the words of welcome. Thank you very much to all the dignitaries for having accepted our love and affection. Oh, sorry. I request Dr. Rishen Verma, sir, the very dynamic Organizing Secretary of this association, to present this bouquet of our love and affection to one who has been the instrumental in organizing not only this event, but all other events at this Premier Institute, our very dynamic and dedicated Director and Vice Chancellor of this premier institute. Now I would like to quote the words of very revered father of the nation, Mahatma Gandhi ji, who said, "He who concentrates on any one thing with singleness of purpose will ultimately acquire the capacity to do everything." When I quote him, I see a person who has dedicatedly worked for the single cause to make this body under which we are assembling today for a professional cause, the IAAVR. By saying so, I mean these words have been transformed into action by the very dynamic president of IAAVR, Dr. S.N. Singh, who is the Managing Director of BioVet Private Limited, Bangalore, a premier veterinary biological company which is associated with the strategies for vaccine development in animal health for emerging and re-emerging diseases in livestock sector. He acquired his MBSc from IVRI itself in 1976 and undergone a PG training from Institut National de la Recherche Agronomique, France in 1980. He has won several awards, but the most prestigious and the recent one is the National Technology Day Award that he has received from the hands of Honorable President of India, Shri Pranab Mukherjee, for the innovation of FMD vaccine and development of blue tongue pentavalent and Johnny's disease vaccine under PPP, first time in the country. We are indeed honored to have the man of his stature who has worked for the livestock development and rural upliftment and also participated in grassroots level vaccine programs, thereby helping eradication of rinderpest from India. On this note of his contributions, I invite Dr. S.N. Singh sir to please express his views on this occasion. Dr. S.N. Singh sir.
Good morning, namaste and pranam. I'm very much pleased as a president of IAAVR to be here today. And first and foremost, I would like to appreciate the efforts by the host director, Dr. R.K. Singh, whom I know as a virologist and now as a director. He has made a transformed change. As Dr. Malik told, I was a student in '74, and I saw IVRI Izatnagar from that day till today. I would like to respectfully once again welcome to Director General, Secretary, Dr. Mahapatraji, being in this hall today with us as a chief guest of IAAVR. He is also known in his field, and I know from working with the ICAR colleagues as a bioscientist in different part of agriculture system. I also respectfully welcome Dr. Manmohan Singh, whose first time I met in Hyderabad. He is a veterinarian with IAS, and he was the Vice Chancellor of Tirupati, the Veterinary University. He was very much fighting to establish the university in Hyderabad when myself and Dr. Rishan Verma met him there. But he is here today, we welcome him and be here with us and appreciate his effort to be here. As a organizing, I respect Dr. B.P. Mishra. He's always dynamic, joint director, academic, but I saw him many places. He pursues the mission of IVRI, and he tries to see that IVRI flourish, and I see the result when I'm here today. Our Dr. Shen Verma, as you know, all of you, he is from IVRI. We know him, and I know him as a founder secretary when IAAVR was established, when Dr. P.N. Bhatt was a dynamic person here, and IAAVR was done in 1990. From that time, he has brought up, and in 2000, what today name you see, Veterinary Congress is added. Purpose is why to aid is interaction of all the professionals of veterinary profession. Today, what I see here in the hall, our senior professor, Dr. Uppal, who taught me, Dr. Jadhav, who was director and equine, and I see his work, what he has done. All my colleagues here from the industry, our ADG, Dr. Ashok Kumar, Dr. Kataria, or other many, I cannot name now, all are here on the first row and second row, my colleagues, and all my delegates from all over the country. I am really happy to be here to ensure you that your deliberation, your time dedication to this place will be fruitful. Now, I'd like in a very few minutes to brief you that why IAAVR and why other associations. There is a difference why got associated. Because I started when I came here in '74, to just brief you all, and I heard in the same hall, Honorable Dr. C.M. Singh as director of IVRI. I was a young student from Ranchi, came here from Bihar village, and I saw his lecture. Only one sentence he told, that we are going to establish a continuous culture system of producing the foot and mouth disease vaccine in Bangalore and one in Baif, Urli Kanchan. 2 plants is going to come from Denmark to upgrade this nation for foot and mouth disease vaccine. Till today, we are hearing the foot and mouth disease vaccine. I was impressed by his dynamic 5-minute talk to the students who joined IVRI at that time. I thought that I should continue my profession in virology and microbiology. I got the admission here, I studied, but I tried to see that I involve my time in virology. After doing that, what Dr. R.K. Singh today, I know him better, that work he has put in many viruses, what he has done himself as a bench worker. Today he is administrator. Tomorrow I wish he grow in the profession and nation, but the work what he has done is in virology is very appreciative. In IAAVR, what we are thinking and the session what you see here, the new generic vaccines and many things, I always pursue that what the nation today needs is not the traditional research what we have doing from 30 or 50 years. Today, after doing so much work, I urge the young students, PhD workers, and our senior scientists that till date in this country, we don't have DIVA in function. We cannot differentiate between the vaccinated animal and non-vaccinated animal. There is no recombinant vaccine, a single vaccine in this country, except some equine. Why not? We are a veterinarian. We must understand the world is moving in different directions, and we must change our system from British to the global level. And if we do that, this country will profit. Working with BIF at the grassroots level, more than 30 years I have seen if the farmers are not going to be strengthened with the knowledge, and the knowledge is not reaching to them, or all the PhD degree or all the academic awards have no use. This earned in the hard way that if you want to transform the society, the knowledge must reach to the grassroots level. Without distortion, without change, it should go directly to the beneficiary. And I'm very much impressed that by doing this, nation has come to this level. What I did, what I saw, and today, being joined in the service first time in Pune, I myself in 76 was staying 2 hours to get a half a liter of milk in Pune city. Today, if move in Pune or Bangalore, whatever I'm spending my time, milk bag is available everywhere. You go, you move, you get a milk. See the difference, huge difference. Is the contribution of veterinary profession, is a contribution of my leader, Padma Shri Manibhai Desai, and Dr. Kurian from NDDB. I appreciate a lot of colleagues are here, and they will join, and we establish it. So such efforts has been the result in the nation. And I hope that veterinary interaction and what I have earned all over traveling to the different nations, I have seen one veterinary model is going to change the society. I am more than convinced. In Switzerland, I saw in the Swiss model of vet model, they are pursuing what India has taken, a model of vet profession to the village is world model. And they are appreciating in Switzerland, in France, in Germany, what India has done. But we have to take it with the knowledge, with upgradation of science, and bringing to the people. One's health, today we are talking, Dr. Maurya here, all of my many colleagues are here, Director NIV. I appreciate today One Health, what everybody is talking after 10 years is the subject. You may say animal, but always I have been taught by my leader, Manibhai Desai, animal is not, isolated animal. Animal is connected to the man, to the society. So today the disease which we are talking is not concentrated to the animal. It's going to the human being, it's going to the children, it's going to be public health importance, community is going to be affected. So if animal is seen to be the part of the human being, you will appreciate. And we must understand this in this science, and we must grow a dynamism in this science, in interaction, and that's the reason I appreciate Dr. Rishan Verma all the time, that this is the only association which interacts with all the professionals, whether it's gynecology, medicine, virology, every subject we will invite a congress to interact all the vets. Instead that, we also invite professionals, IAS, policymaker, agriculture, and many, many people. I remember when I hosted this conference in Pune, Dr. Raghuvansh Prasad Singh, Animal Husbandry Minister, he told, such a village level work if veterinarian does, this country will go to a far, far ahead. And I appreciate this, and I welcome you all once again. I welcome our Director General and Secretary there, and being everything today who is going to guide us in the future. I appreciate that in veterinary profession, the new generation of vaccine and genetic engineering and differentiation of the vaccinated and non-vaccinated animal to make sure that the vaccination has done at the grassroots level with antibody analysis. If you did vaccinate, we are doing 30, 40 years in the past, we could not do any successful. But when monitoring is independent, after vaccination and antibody serum monitoring, we are out of Rinderpest and we are free. Same thing, some discouragement is there in foot and mouth control, but I have full faith. When I travel in Brazil, Argentina, Uruguay, and all the countries, I present it to the Krishi Bhavan, and I make them to understand that if Brazil can control through vaccination and free FMD, why not India? India can do it, but we have to have a determination in foot and mouth disease control. Scientifically, we have to make sure that every part of the control system is working. Coordination between ICAR and the Ministry of Agriculture is a must. Coordination between the State Department of Animal Husbandry and Government of India is a must. Coordination between the veterinarian, training them, updating them to make sure that they understand the disease forecasting. They should not suppress the disease information. It's the British system that we don't report the disease. Unless you report the disease will never go out of this country. So I would urge all my dignitaries, all my professionals to take this and advise us in this all the 2 days session and determination how to go ahead in the future. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for sharing your words of wisdom and experience. Now it's time to listen to one who has devoted his life for the professional cause, and one of the fruit that we see today is IAAVR. Professor Dr. Rishendra Verma, who is the national veterinary expert in drug and GMP, has worked since 2001 to 2012 as a gazetted Government of Indian analyst under the Drug and Cosmetic Act 1940. He has served this premier institute in different capacities, including head standardization and joint director cadre, and has given his inputs in several capacities. You all are aware about his dynamism. I call upon, with honor, with the request to Dr. Rishendra Verma to share his views and this particular moment with these 4 lines that reflect his personality and thinking. I invite him to share his views. ये हर कदम पर तेरा इम्तहान लेगा ज़रूर, प्यार वो शय है कि ज़माना उफान लेगा ज़रूर, तू डरा इसको दिखा जाल बना अफसाने, हौसला इसमें है तो ये दिल उड़ान लेगा ज़रूर. Dr. Rishendra Verma, sir.
His Excellency Professor Tilochan Mahapatra ji, the Honorable Secretary Dear and the Director General of the Indian Council of Agriculture Research, and the Chief Guest of the day, Dr. Manmohan Singh, the Special Chief Secretary to Government of Andhra Pradesh, Dr. R.K. Singh, the Honorable Director and Vice Chancellor of this Premier Institute, Dr. B.P. Mishra, the Dynamic Joint Director Research at this institute, the President, Dr. S.N. Singh, my executive committee members. Among the audience, Professor P.K. Uppal, Dr. M.P. Yadav Sahab, Dr. Amresh Kumar Sahab, and ICR directors, Dr. D.V.R. Prakash Rao, Dr. Kusmakar Sharma, Dr. Bineet Bhasin, Dr. Ashok Kumar ADG, dignitaries from the Seema Suraksha Bal and the BSF, Dr. S.K. Tiwari Sahab, DIG SSB, Dr. G.C. Nag Sahab, Commandant BSF, all my students, all our scientific faculty, Dr. Jay Prakash and his group from Indian Pharmacopoeia Commission, Ministry of Health, Head of Divisions, students, ladies and gentlemen. Very pleasant good morning. We are at the very outset extend once again a hearty welcome to all of you on behalf of the association. Many of the delegates or dignitaries in the audience may be coming first time hearing my voice. But many are maybe those who have been hearing for a long time. And it shows that the God has blessed some power in my body that they have not become bored. Otherwise, they have been seeing me in various fora, platforms, speaking in Hindi and English many times. So basically, the Indian Association for the Advancement of Veterinary Research came into existence on 9 January 1991 at Bareilly city. And the fundamental aim of the association is to promote advancement of research, veterinary research, and to avoid and control unnecessary divergence or aberrations of the profession. The association major objective is to provide a common platform not only to scientists, students, researchers, but also to field veterinarians. The aim of the association is to act as a nerve center for the country, for the profession, so that it does not lose its vitality in the quagmire of the politics. Sir, IAAVR started in 1991, now has grown 26 years of age. We have been organizing this activity in the name of conference in the different states of India. But it came to my mind in 2000, why should we call conference? Why should I not connote it as a congress? I had about 2 hours discussion with Dr. C.M. Singh, called me in his office, and he had a very tough discussion with me, and he says, Dr. Verma, I am blessed with you. I said, sir, I am cherished with your blessings. But he came here in this Congress, and then he felt it and said to the former late President Dr. Jaiswal, tell this young man my congratulations. So this is story. Now IAAVR has created and done a commendable job. There must be some reason as to why such audience take so much of trouble of traveling and staying in not much comfortable accommodation. There must be certain ground behind it. The IAAVR has created mini libraries in the home of live members or the others by offering a number of publications, souvenir, compendium. Anybody can go for any interview. He may have a library of publications from the IAAVR. IAAVR has created its website in 2003, launched by Honorable Minister Mr. Butel at the Palampur. IAAVR has added feather to cap to many learned veterinarians throughout the country by way of awards and honors. And you must have seen a long list of the awards. People have become tempted when they came here, they realized that this is the platform where we should donate some money. And that is why there has been 10, 11, 12 awards by the association which have been distributed regularly, both in the form of the memento certificate and some cash amount also. IAAVR has helped nation by contributing towards the human resource development by giving ample opportunities to its members and non-members on scientific and one-to-one basis for unfolding their talents. IAAVR has been able to publish its official biannual journal, now which bears the NAS rating 4.49 in the name of the Indian Journal of Veterinary Research. And for your kind information, for 10 years we have published the Hindi summary also of the research articles. After that, the practice could not be maintained. Now you see that this is the only association which got its associate membership in 2004 with the World Veterinary Association. We continued for 2 years. Now again we resumed it. And because, except India, many of us have been abroad, the subscription is annual. But we become the live member for all time. But I wrote many letters to World Veterinary Association that if you want to bring more national associations together under an umbrella, then you have to revise your memorandum. You have to revise your rules and bylaws. Then now they wrote me that we have done some liberal action for bringing your number of associations. So now we are a constituent member since 2016. And then the World Veterinary Association also admitted that those live members of this association would obviously become annual member of the World Veterinary Association. And they have given me email that they can write MWVA. Secondly, Dr. Abdul Rahman, the president of Commonwealth Veterinary Association, came last year in Bhubaneswar when we had our congress there. And he persuaded that there is no Indian association which is seen on the map of the Commonwealth. So he showed his concern, and we voluntarily admitted, came forward, okay, we will pay the subscription of $500, and we became the member of the Commonwealth Veterinary Association, myself being the Indian Counselor of the Commonwealth Veterinary Association. Now, today we must be very much happy, eternally very happy, because the Honorable Chief Guest heading the largest national agriculture research system in India, Professor Trilochan Mahapatra. His gracious presence is splendid, is very important for us. He is one of the great policy makers, and we will hear him, as well as we also wish to give him feedback. So some of the issues, like the ICAR has always been saying that let us have the integrated or multidisciplinary approach of the research. And sir, for your kind information, we can claim that it is the association which is an exemplary example to the nurse in India, which has been doing human job for the last 26 years, bringing so many people together. This was the association which have conducted the round table on mastitis with the INTAS, 5 round tables, 2 round tables on human, and we promoted the field veterinarians by giving them subsidized registration, by helping them in their TA. This is the association where the whole industry come. Today, 90% industry of veterinary profession is sitting in this hall. Like Dr. Arun Atre, the President, Zydus Animal Health, Mr. Vijay Teng, the Executive President, Dr. Rao, the Chairman of the Prakash Foods and Feeds Mill, and many other industries, all are here. Therefore, we are doing such a work that we want to translate our work in action. We speak, we hear by ears, and then we translate. We speak, we do not hear, the end result, collapse. We speak, we hear, and we translate and bring an action. And that deliverable action has made the industry proactive to come forward with this association once in a year. Now you see that the IAAVR is also an approved society under the list of approved society of ICAR, and some of the important points, because the general body will take place in the evening 6 p.m., it is our also job to say some of the national issues very important. Like the parity of the veterinarians. We are not destructive, but we are bold enough, and we are trying to put the agenda before the officers, the government. We are the spokesman. We should be. We should also be a scientific recommending body. We should be. Because the stakeholders, both on the private public sector, meet together, and there cannot be another option except this present association who can support the government of India. Dr. G.N. Singh, with whom I have been associated for the last 16 years, has apologized that his secretary has given a meeting today for the EFC. He conveyed his blessings and good wishes for the conference. You see that the National Commission on Agriculture was held in 1971, and there have been a good policy decisions in this commission. Why the government of India has not taken any commission since 1971 till to date? Because, like for example, the tuberculosis, there is a policy written in this commission that what to do with the reactor of animals. what to do with the non-reactor of animals, what to do with brucellosis. So it needs a revisit. Therefore, since the chief guest is also a part of that machinery, we hope that some of our feedback may be taken and he may help us. Another very important proactive action was taken, the former Director General, Professor Ayyappan Saab, to call all the scientific societies at New Delhi and to convene a meeting. I was also one of the participants. It was done in 2011, recommendations were made. I would again urge upon the ICR to further strengthen this process and to make this meeting once again. Parity has been an issue which looks like a chronic issue or has been created one or the other way. I hope Professor Dr. Manmohan Singh will also appreciate once it is decided that it is parity with Medico, somewhere it is parity, somewhere it is non-parity, court cases and this, that, a sort of turbulence unnecessarily. Like many in the paramilitary forces, the medical doctors, the dental, they are on DAPC, but veterinarians have been left out. They say, no, for you it will not be applicable. And the answer comes that more such demands will be raised. But I have seen throughout my career that ultimately the Ministry of Finance pays a huge amount of the arrears. It means what our Prime Minister has been emphasizing through newspaper, through meetings in the judiciary, कि हमारे सरकार सबसे ज़्यादा मुकदमा कर रही है. Then we are trying to write the other way also to the Honorable Prime Minister that this burden of court cases must be cut down for the welfare of the society. Then incentives. There are no incentives for the societies. There are several societies. I have written a book of glimpses of Indian veterinary science. Ours are multidisciplinary, but others are the subject-oriented societies, maybe small, maybe mid-level. So there is, people only criticize, but there is no taker of the recommendations. Even during Dr. P.N. Bhatt, we have made recommendations, some was taken by the ICR. We thank that point of time. And ICR has been a very important apex body, everybody knows. And to me it looks that when I go to the history, you take the example of the tuberculosis, because I have been working for more than 2 decades. And I have gone through all the annual reports of the IAAVR since its inception. Then the ICR always addressed those country problems which need a project. And TB was one of them. A very good work has been done. And recently when I had a meeting at CDAC with the British scientists, I think they were highly impressed. And when I read the 1934 visionary annual report matter to them, they asked me to, can you give me this paper? I have given them. It was regarding the development of a vaccine. And when I presented our work, I think I internally was feeling pride of being institute work, that they are so happy and they took many information with us and made a later exchange. Now, sir, the recognition is very important. It is generally said, people come, go, eat, nothing happens. Then who is going to do it? We are doing our job. We can do our job, but we cannot ask others to do your job. In the sense that the recommendations of the society must be taken care of by the government agencies. So I would not take time much today because we would like to hear more from our chief guest and Dr. Manmohan Singh. So I stop here and we thank you very much that you came here. And we have given, lastly, I would like to submit that Chief Guest Sir and Dr. Singh, that we have given entirely a new shape to this Congress. It has been deviated from the routine type of Congress. We have a very structured sessions where chairman, co-chairman, and it is the first time in this association more than dozen medical experts like Dr. Sarman Singh from the All India Institute of Medical Science, Ujjain Medical College, Bardha Medical College, Shimla, and many others, ICMR headquarters, NCDC, they are all, sir, participating on the One Health or the antimicrobial resistance. So we are extremely once again thankful to all of you, to our chief guest. We hope that we will serve further better for you. Thank you.
Thank you, sir, for elaborating upon the activities of the IAAVR and your future programs that you would like to pursue with the help of the colleagues in different organizations. Now, as has been rightly said by Sir Winston Churchill, that you make a living by what you get, but you make a life by what you give. Scientists, researchers, planners, they conceive their thoughts as a vision and transform them in several forms, including the literature. So I would now request the dignitaries on the dais to release these valued publications for the posterity. And to begin with, I request Dr. Tanya Balendri, Dr. Garima and Sinkesh to please assist. I request Dr. Rishend Verma and his team to please present this compendium of the conference to the Honorable Chief Guest of today's function, Reverend Dr. Trilochan Mahapatraji, along with all the other dignitaries. I request to kindly release these valuable publications. Well, in the series, I once again request Dr. Rishend Verma and his team to please present the IAAVR calendar 2017 for the release to the honorable dignitaries. Once again, I request Dr. Rishend Verma, sir, along with the Honorable Director of this institute, to please present this One Health newsletter, which is a global vision for the welfare of man, animal, plants that surround us in the environment, and by extending the cooperation through these various sectors, we can achieve what we dream for. Thank you, sir, for doing the honors. Now I request Dr. Nitin Bhatia from Intas Polyvet to please come onto the dais and present this Intas Polyvet volumes for the release to the honorable dignitaries on the dais. This is a publication which relates to the veterinary profession, publishes the articles, reviews from various researchers. I request now Dr. Vijay Teng to please present the manual on Thank you, sir. The last presentation to be made by Dr. Vijay Teng. This is antimicrobial resistance, which is a global concern. And now people are desperate to find the effective solutions. Edited by Dr. Rishen Verma. This is Antimicrobial Resistance Manual, where all the global communities are looking for the noble ways to tackle this problem effectively, which is growing menace across the globe, claiming several precious lives of animals and humans, and making, especially in the clinical settings, a Herculean task to treat those who suffer with these pathogens having antimicrobial resistance. Thank you very much, sir. Now it's time to listen to a luminary who has kindly acceded to be the guest of honor of today's inaugural function, Honorable Dr. Manmohan Singh, IAS, currently holding the Special Chief Secretary, Government of Andhra Pradesh. He hails from Madhya Pradesh and acquired his diploma in French, an MBA from UK in late 1990s. He was the Deputy Secretary and then the Director in Rural Development Ministry at the center. He also served as the Principal Secretary in charge of housing in Government of Andhra Pradesh. You know, it is very difficult to implement all the policies at the grassroots level, but the people who are at the helm of affairs make it happen. With these 4 lines, which reflects at his vision and working, I invite him for his address. जुलूसों से बदलता है, ननारों से बदलता है, व्यवस्था का बुरा पहलू सुधारों से बदलता है, किनारे देखते रहते हैं बस बदलाव का मंजर, नदी का रुख नदी की तेज धारों से बदलता है. Honorable Dr. Manmohan Singh ji.
Thank you very much. Good morning to all friends. Respected Chief Guest of today's function, Dr. Mahapatra ji, Secretary DARE and DG ICAR, Dr. R.K. Singh, Director IVRI and Vice Chancellor, Dr. S.N. Singh, President IVR, Dr. Rishendra Verma ji, Dr. Misra ji, all the veterans of this profession who are present in this hall, scientists from veterinary and medical profession, representatives from private sector, students and friends. I'm really fortunate to have come over here today to be part of this August gathering, a gathering of luminaries, scientists from different disciplines, having so many years of experience in their field. It's very hard to find this kind of group. I'm really feeling that I took a right decision in coming over here. It will be very good learning experience for me. As far as today's topics are concerned, whether it is new generation vaccine, diagnostics, or genomic intervention, or One Health, these topics, you know much more than what I can say here. So it's better I hear all of you these 2 days and take something for the farmers of my state. I would like to thank all the scientists for their outstanding achievements in the past. because of which this country has eradicated rinderpest, and a lot of work is going on FMD. And as far as Andhra Pradesh is concerned, it has been declared free from FMD because we did not have any incidents for last 2 years. And it's because of your contribution, your hard work, your research, that we could do it. So you are very valuable asset of the nation. We congratulate you, we thank you, and we hope this effort will go on further, because there are still many challenges in various diseases, and we need to find answers for them. In the field of those vaccines which are already existing, like FMD, we need to find some more refinement in the method of application, the potency, the longevity of immunity, and all those things, so that the logistic challenges which we are facing in the field, that can be sorted out. We can save money, we can save animal lives, and the kind of economic losses the farmers are facing because of disease burden, that can be reduced. So there is still a lot of things that has to be done, and I'm sure you are all working hard to find solutions for that. Livestock is very, very important sector. I need not emphasize, you all know about it. The contribution to the national economy and to the GDP, GSDP of state is playing a very important role, and hitherto a neglected subject has got now focus. And from my experience of Andhra Pradesh, I can say that the government in Andhra Pradesh has formed a primary sector mission in which agriculture, livestock, fisheries, horticulture, sericulture, irrigation, all these related departments, they are made part of the mission. And we work together because there are a lot of interconnections. And when we work in synergy, then only we can achieve better result. So compared to agriculture, which is growing at 2 to 3% rate, animal husbandry is growing at 6 to 7% at a national level. And in our state, Andhra Pradesh, we achieved growth of 12% last year. Why I am saying this? I'm just trying to tell the importance of this sector for the farmers. We have seen in the most drought-affected districts, animal husbandry's performance is better because the farmer depend more on animals. But they don't have agriculture as such. There is no water, there is no rainfall. So what is the source of income for them? You say animals. So in a way, it's a drought-proofing measure for the farmers in those areas. So that being the importance, we all feel that we have a lot of responsibilities to see that this sector grows further and contributes to the income of the farmer. The present Indian government is now thinking of doubling the income of farmers in next 5 years. And we are thinking in Andhra Pradesh to see that minimum 10,000 rupees per month a farmer gets from all sources. I'm not saying only from livestock, from all sources, whatever resources they are having, and which animal husbandry is playing a very major role. So in that, our sector is providing a lot of assistance to the farmer, especially you know that 80% of people who are engaged in livestock rearing, they are women. So there is a lot of gender equality in this profession. So production and productivity, these are the issues which we have to deal with. And one topic here is about genomics intervention for improving the productivity. You all know what is the productivity of crossbred, what is the productivity of Murrah buffalo, and what is the productivity of other indigenous animals. So we have a role in seeing that the productivity is increased so that the farmer, by keeping less number of animals, get the same income or even more. So there are various challenges, and I'm sure this kind of scientific body will definitely give us their suggestions to go further in that. Health management, that is the main focus of the topics here, vaccine, diagnostics, and One Health. Health management is a very important component of the whole productivity system. The loss due to brucellosis, 24,000 crore. Loss with FMD, I don't know how much, must be more than 50,000 crore. Mastitis, a very big challenge. A lot of farms are getting suffering loss due to big mastitis problem. We have no vaccine. So these are the areas where the scientists, they need to work. And with these kind of interventions, both in the terms of vaccine as such and the application of it, both side research are needed, and new generation vaccine, new generation diagnostic, pen side diagnosis, early diagnosis, timely diagnosis, effective diagnosis. These are the issues in our field level, and when we interact with the farmers, we come to know so many things. Farmers are the scientists at their own accord and at their own level. So we need to learn from our millions of scientists who are struggling day in and day out to manage the situation. So we need to mutually learn from them, give them our scientific knowledge, and all the stakeholders put together, work together, then only we'll be able to achieve further in our this endeavor. And this kind of body like Indian Association for Advancement of Research has to play very important role, and they are playing it. I must thank Dr. Ishend Verma. I must thank Dr. S.N. Singh and all the dignitaries who are here. They have taken out time and come over here. These 2 days will be really fruitful, and we'll learn a lot and definitely progress. Because I've seen the topics, so many experts they will be speaking in next 2 days. Definitely we'll be able to prioritize certain areas where we can focus our research, put our money in that. Money may be constant sometime, but when we have focused approach, probably money may not be a big issue. So let us all put our head together. 2 days, let us have very fruitful exercise here and share our knowledge and chalk out program for future. I once again thank the organizers, the Indian Association for Advancement of Veterinary Research, everybody, Dr. Singh, R.K. Singh, Director, IVRI, for having given me this opportunity to talk before all of you. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your candid thoughts. And thank you very much for representing the profession in administrative mode. We are indeed benefited with your vision and experience. Before I invite Dr. Ishend Verma for the award ceremony, on behalf of the organizing committee and my own behalf, I would like to express our gratitude and thankfulness to the OIE, and OIE has acknowledged this conference and has very kindly deputed his representative in esteemed Dr. Stephen Mesuri. We welcome you from the core of our heart. I request you to kindly give him a warm welcome. We also welcome Dr. Mamta Dhawan, who is from the GALMED, and she will be having a specific session on the smallholder delivery system. We welcome Dr. Mamta Dhawan also from the core of our heart. Now it's time, as you know, award is one which is received by doing the good deeds at heart. The fragrance of that good work emanates in all the directions, but it is the duty of any society to acknowledge the dedicated work done by the distinguished colleagues. To do the honors, I now request Dr. Rishen Verma, the Founder Secretary and Organizing Secretary of this conference, to please conduct the award ceremony. Dr. Rishen Verma, sir.
Thank you, Dr. Malik. So, customary for the dignitaries on dais and the audience, wherever we host our Congress, we have been requesting the organizers to locate the senior most veterinarians so that we can get blessings, and at the same time we felicitate them. In that context, it is our proud privilege to request Professor P.K. Uppal to kindly come on the dais. Professor P.K. Uppal is a very dynamic, full of energy, very learned policy maker, scientist of the country. I had a chance to work under him when he was head of division, bacteriology and mycology, and he was the person who assigned me the TB lab to establish and to work upon it. Dr. Uppal has been the founder director of the National Research Center on Equines. He has been a director of the BIPCOL, and currently he is the advisor to the Honorable Chief Minister, Government of Punjab. Is a dearth of publications, voluminous contributions, very difficult to translate in few words, except that we request him to accept our felicitation and the gesture, and as a source of inspiration, we look to you today as a source of inspiration, Gyan ka Bhandar. So I request you, sir, that you may please be felicitated by our chief guest. I request Dr. Malik to kindly help in the process. Yes, please, please.
Honored in this glittering hall, governed by the knowledge and power of ICAR, that is the Director General, need not to emphasize this personality is the future of India. Personality of dynamic nature, personality of thoughts. My interaction, 3 minutes. I requested 75 acres of land from ICAR. I am proud to say it was done. It is meticulous. It is wonderful. And further add to it, this 75 acres of land has been converted into a sanctuary called Cow Sanctuary. Chaudhary Saab, who is the head of Development Agency, Chief Secretary, was shown this only 10 days back the glimpses which is under construction. He gave 20 crore, first phase 10 crore. What I'm trying to put is, we have a personality today, and I'm grateful that I'm honored with this. The place where I'm standing is my childhood. The place where I have grown is my life. Well, I need not to say, throughout the history of mankind, social, economical, and ecological consequences, which was the severest problem, it was rinderpest. The very birth of veterinary profession is rinderpest. All we owe to this motherland, it is the rinderpest. The Roman Empire fell, it was a rinderpest. They conquered Genghis Khan, his bullet, it was a rinderpest. If I go on telling, it is a big story, but I only wish to say that today we are proud that we have a personality who is going to give you direction, and above all, the director of this institute is responsible for my coming. I was committed for these days. I had a family from UK. My son, who is a veterinarian, my father was a veterinarian. I diverted my attention because of Shen Verma, a scholar in which I found a vision. And today, he's talking, and I still remember when I flew from England in a carry, I was awarded the first reception by him. Slightly directly came from England. I would like to mention a few things with the permission of Chair. Let us not forget, veterinary services started in this country because 1 lakh cattle was dying every year in Himachal Pradesh. 1 lakh every year in this country. The draft power was a problem. Ethiopia had the famine. India had the problem of draft power. Look at the history. Look at the records. What FAO said. We talk of green revolution. We never talked of rinderpest revolution. Look at the green revolution. FAO has stated very clearly, India gained additional food production 1965 to 1998. What? 289 billion US dollar. Look at the figure. Now look at the India's figure. How we are number 1 in milk production. India would have never been first in milk production or meat export. I give little data just for 2 minutes before I close my talk. Look at that. Milk increased 2.99 from 1955 to 1995. And I have taken 1955 because the first Congress on rinderpest on the chairmanship of Dr. Datta was held here. In 1955, that was the first task IVRI took, the birth for the rinderpest control. And it was, now look at that, when the international agency said, India cannot get rinderpest eradicated because you people don't kill animals. And we said, India will get rid of this problem with humane, that's called animal welfare indirectly. And that was acknowledged by OI. Now look at that. 4.796 is the increased in milk. Now look at the data. Income coming from milk, 102.06 increase. And as far as the meat is concerned, it was 193.96. 193.96. This is the increase in our country system. Now you look at the value. It comes to about 16,000 million as far as the value is concerned in US dollar. So what I'm trying to see, don't think only rinderpest. Let me go into 3 more things. Could we see eggs? Could we see poultry? Who did all? The birds were dying like flies. They were being like that. So India could not progress in poultry production. It was only when R2B vaccine at this institute by Heddo and Adnani working at Mukteshwar developed it. And this vaccine was responsible for the control of Ranikhet, what we call. There was a controversy between the two countries at that time because British Empire always they stamped, well, we were the first to get Doyle, we are the first to do it. But nevertheless, it was IVRI, which made the R2B vaccine. And today, you see what is poultry. Poultry is an industry. It's not the what we used to see. Before 1960, eggs were not seen in that number. Today, look at the production, we are exporter. What I am trying to see, look at the other important, the most important work done at this place was African horse sickness. The movement of all horses. If you see the war between China and India, the mules problem. The major problem was the border with Pakistan. That was African horse sickness, 1962. It is this institute where the vaccine was developed. And now, today, we are free. Another problem with Dr. Yadav would like to say or something about equine infectious anemia, a disease similar to AIDS, first detected by me, and good work done by Dr. Yadav and Dr. R.K. Devoted worker. India needs devotion. India needs something to do and bring prosperity of this nation under the chairmanship of the present system. All these why I said, look at that, the capacity and capability of India. Only in Rinderpast we produce 180 million doses from this institute. And we were a pioneer to each state to give the technology, methodology, and system. That was IVRI. But I have only one humble submission that with the system, vaccine has been diluted. This is the only tragedy which I would like to say. Why? We give subsidy to the farmers as far as the agriculture operation. I being in Punjab, and I know with Sultan how we are giving subsidies. But when we talk to vaccines, when we talk of the system, in IVRI, which was the Makkah and Medina, producing 100 products, diagnostics, reagents, because this is a relevance to this conference. That's why I wanted to speak few things. Now look at that, 840 million livestock, 840 million livestock saved by the Rinderpast system, monitoring surveillance, which Dr. Singh said, who happened to be my first student, he happened to be. What I am trying to say is that we must concentrate and look at that, how we are going to move India. And I invite all of you for the conference which we are doing, doubling the income which was referred by Honorable Manmohan Singh ji. I think it is time we should look. And one last word, khud ko kar itna buland, khud ko kar itna buland, खुदा तुझसे पूछे या खुदा बंदे से पूछे तेरी रजा क्या है?
मैंने जैसा कहा था ज्ञान के सागर उसी रूप में हमें प्रेरणा के स्रोत में देखने को मिले। अब हम अनुरोध करते हैं डॉक्टर नागेंद्र शर्मा जी से। प्रोफेसर डॉक्टर नागेंद्र शर्मा has been the head of Department of the Livestock Products Technology. He headed the Central Institute for Research on Goats as the director. Then he also simultaneously headed the National Dairy Research Institute as the director. And then he became the Vice Chancellor of the SCOST, Jammu. He is a very eminent scientist in the area of the meat science. Sir, we are very much privileged that you have accepted our invitation. It is your generosity, and we request you to kindly accept our felicitation through the hands of the chief guest, please. अच्छा सर, थैंक यू। दो शब्द।
a doyen in science, Dr. Tilochan Mahapatra ji, who lifelong worked cutting across the discipline, though he is known as a rice man of India. Now he has taken responsibility to work, to give future direction, to cutting across the all production technology related to agriculture, animal husbandry, horticulture. Sir, I'm privileged to have the honor from you. Singh trio on the dash, Dr. S.K. Singh, President of the Association, Dr. Manmohan Singh, on whom we are having a proud as a veterinarian, that being a veterinarian, he became an administrator as a special secretary now, but still he has not left the liking for the science. Still he is continuing, and he worked, I have many occasions to work with him when he was Vice Chancellor at a formative stage of Andhra Pradesh Agriculture University. Dr. R.K. Singh, who is the spirit behind this function, and especially I say him not merely an outstanding scientist, he has proved by his contributions, but a visionary as an administrator. A very small example I will quote, that with pain, sir, this YSEP building on which we are proud of was in a very debilitating state. And I requested some of the directors to look into it. But when I am only attachment with this institute for my morning walk, and I see that automatically he observed it and he took it for his reorientation. Other joint directors, Dr. Mishra, Dr. Gupta, my senior Dr. Yadav sitting here, Dr. Amresh Kumar, all dignitaries. I have seen this thought of this Congress. There are 4 objectives and 3 tools they have to added in that to achieve those objectives. The last one, the most important, the mission, that social benefit out of it. Dr. Rishand Verma has remained a very dynamic person, and to coordinate the issue in a very fine manner, in a very neated manner. And he has placed certain problem and grievances as well, and requirement in his usual booming sound that even a deaf person like me see clearly. And when Dr. Mahapatra, so sensitive person, having all his orifice and auditory nerves so prominently open, definitely will consider to it. With this, I hope through this Congress, you will get benefit, and I will be equally benefited. And I'm thankful to the entire profession who have honored me for my little contribution which I could do to this profession. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir. May I request Professor Amresh Kumar ji to kindly come on the dais. Professor Amresh Kumar Sahab is an eminent surgeon in the country. Everybody knows. He's a very noble, very polite, very soft, and very generous personality. And I first time came into contact with him when I was also working about the journal in a press. So he saw me first time. We had seen each other first time. Since then, he had his own impression. Professor Amresh Kumar is, after his retirement as the Dean, College of Veterinary Science, Pantnagar, is working as the Director General of the very pioneer Khandelwal College of Management and Technology, Bareilly. We are very much happy, sir, that you accepted our invitation and spared time to be with us. So we would be very much thankful to you to kindly accept our felicitation through the hands of our chief guest. गाड़ी होगी नहीं तुम पे कैसे जाओगे और डिब्बे ही आने हैं ना हर्षित तो यहीं बैठो थोड़ी देर अब हार्ड हो जाए तब सर प्लीज
I would like to extend my congratulations, first of all, for the great success of this Congress, and also like to thank for the honor bestowed upon me for a little contribution I could make in the field of veterinary surgery in particular and veterinary science in general. Thank you very much, and the Society of IAAVR in safe hands when we have a committed scientist like Dr. Rishendra Verma, and IVR is doing a wonderful job in research and teaching under the dynamic leadership of Dr. R.K. Singh, making strides every day, now and then, and I'm sure under his dynamic leadership, this institution is going to further recognized in the world over. Thank you.
Thank you very much, sir. We are very much obliged to request Professor Mahanpal Yadavji, a very esteemed, eminent virologist, and we are very lucky to have worked with him for 6 years when he was director here of the Pioneer Institute, and earlier he has worked as the director, National Research Center on Equines, and later he joined here as a director, IVRI, and then he moved as the Vice Chancellor of Sardar Vallabhbhai Patel University of Agriculture and Technology. And in person, I have worked too much too with him during his directorship here. I am very personally obliged that he has strengthened my capabilities by giving me several portfolios in IVRI. And he has been a very polite and very eminent virologist worker, having done very, very credential work in his area, and has always been positive and encouraging all of us. Sir, we are very much thankful to you that you have accepted spare time and you have joined us, though one of the Congress has held under your chairmanship when Dr. C.M. Singh and Dr. C.K. Rao were here. So we are extremely thankful and request you to kindly accept our felicitation through kind hands of the Honorable Chief Guest. ठीक है, अब तेजी से चलेगा.
Few words. Respected Dr. Trilochan Mahapatra ji, Honorable Secretary DARE and Director General ICR, Dr. Manmohan Singh, Special Secretary, Dr. R.K. Singh, Dr. S.N. Singh, Professor P.K. Uppal, Dr. Nagin Sharma, and other dignitaries on the dais, students, press, and media. I am highly delighted and grateful for this honor bestowed on me at this institute by the IAAVR, IVRI being my alma mater, and having associated with this premier institute of veterinary science, as informed in the morning, now 127 years service provided to the nation. I worked as a PhD student for 3 years, graduate assistant for 2 years, professor and head virology for 6 years, and in the end, as director of this institute for 6 years. It was told in the morning that IVRI began its journey in 1889. And after all the achievements mentioned earlier by Professor Uppal, the institute has never looked back. And the journey is on and on. And I'm happy to be here and say before this audience, among the animal health specialists and scientists, we have one of the two finest, Professor P.K. Uppal, the senior most animal health specialist, and the present director, Dr. R.K. Singh, one of the finest scientists who has developed not one or two vaccines, a number of vaccines, particularly on poxviruses. So I feel that under the leadership of our Honorable Director General, we are in safe hands. And we, as all know, because of these achievements of this institute in controlling infectious diseases of animals and poultry, India is #1 in milk production globally, not for 1, 2, 3, or 4, 5 years. Continuously since 1998, this is highly creditable. Now we are #2 in egg production because of the animal health protection and support provided with the help of the vaccines developed by this institute and several diagnostics. Now, to be felicitated in this august house with the pious hands of Dr. Mohapatra, who himself is an eminent scientist, researcher, biotechnologist, and now administrator. So, sir, I am highly grateful for your kind gesture. I am also grateful to Dr. Manmohan Singh. Now, I cherish my association with Professor P.K. Uppal, and I consider him as one of my mentors. And I've learned a lot. Dr. Nagin Sharma, we worked together in IVRI, and subsequently also when he left, became Vice Chancellor, Director, and we have learned a lot. As it was informed in the morning, Dr. Sharma, one of the finest meat sciences available with us. But whatever I have achieved, I do not consider I deserve it, including the highest award of OIE in 2000 for animal health and veterinary, the public health. All these achievements, they have been possible with the help of and collaboration of my seniors, and the head of the divisions, heads, joint directors, the supporting staff, and technicians. And I dedicate all this success in their name. And finally, very humbly, I accept this one on their behalf, and I appreciate all the dignitaries and participants here for showing your blessings on me. And a mention was made in the morning about the necessity of DIVA test, particularly when we are having national mass vaccination programs against brucellosis, against PPR. We should have a DAY test. But we have a DAY test for foot and mouth. There also, there is a vaccination program of the government of India. And among the new generation vaccine, which is one of the objectives under this seminar, the gene editing technology, a very versatile technology, is going to play a very important role in all spheres of the livestock development, even crop development. Our Director General, he knows better about these technologies. And I think sooner we should take lead, even for development of vaccines, diagnostics, increasing the yield of the animals, developing value-added products. This technology is very, very important. So with this, I again thank you all, and Jai Hind, Jai Bharat.
Thank you. Now, in order to curtail time, because the scientific program is very tight, I apologize that the credentials of the awardees will be placed on the website. And I will now request Dr. Kusmakar Sharma. We started the first award as a Major Mrs. Malika Trivedi IAAVR award on the HRD side. And it was a donation given by this lady. He is a commanding officer NCC. So Dr. Kusmakar Sharma has been the head of nutrition and Joint Director Extension, then rose to the position of Assistant Director General HRD ICAR. In the series, sir, awardees should feel gratified that they are receiving an award from accredited association. We are also having ISO 9001-2008 as well as the constituent membership. Now in 1996 we started the fellowship, and in that context may I request Dr. DVR Prakash Rao, a very senior eminent animal nutritionist, and he has been alumni of the OUT and then subsequently the IVRI. He is the chairman of the Prakash Foods and Feeds Limited, Chennai. He is very dynamic and has been contributing tremendously to the veterinary profession. Sir, Sir, last year in the general body meeting at the OUT Bhubaneswar, the general body decided that we should prove ourselves in action as the One Health program. So we have also expanded the fellowship to the medicos. And in that series, the first medical expert is with us, Professor Dr. Sarman Singh. I request him to please come on the dais quickly. Dr. Sarman Singh is the head of Division of Clinical Microbiology and Molecular Medicine at AIIMS. He hails from a small village, alumni of the KGMC and the Chandigarh, and he has been ornamented with several awards, very, very important awards by the ICMR, by the DBT, and by the societies. So the association admit Dr. Sarman Singh as the fellow of the IAAVR. Now, Dr. Syed Basharat Ahmad Shah. Dr. Syed Ahmad Basharat Shah is a Kashmiri, and he is a born-based Kashmiri consultant at Germany. He has arrived from the Germany to receive his fellowship. We are pleased to admit him as the fellow of this premier association, and he has been honored like the prestigious diplomateship of the Royal College of Veterinary Surgeons, United Kingdom, and he has also been member of the RCVS. Now we proceed further and request Dr. Abhijit Mitra ji, Director of the National Research Center on Mithun, Nagaland, eminent geneticist. And he is also going to play an important role in the session on the genomic intervention today. He was working as the National Fellow before his joining. In the next series, I request Dr. Ashok Kumar Tiwari. Dr. Ashok Kumar Tiwari is head of division of biological standardization. He is also very eminent virologist, and he has done a very, very significant work in the area of the Newcastle disease virus. And he has guided several students. He has got a very good academic record also. Now we request Dr. Bir Singh Rathore. Dr. Bir Singh Rathore is a top pathologist from the Sardar Kursi Nagar, Dantewada, and he is a fellow of a number of societies. He is a very dynamic person, learned person. So he is admitted as the fellow of this association. Now, lastly, we request Dr. D. Thyagarajan, the recently retired Director Extension from the Tanuvas, Chennai. He was a Director of Extension Distance Education at Tanuvas, Chennai. Rajshri Patil, Dr. Rajshri Patil, Dr. B.A. Talwalkar has donated money as the Dean of the Veterinary College, Mumbai. May I request Dr. Rajshri? She is a microbiologist professor at Bombay Veterinary College. She has arrived from Mumbai. The Mrs. Shri Sagar Memorial Lady Veterinarian Award. Dr. B.P. Mishra is requested to receive the award in the area of biotechnology, animal biotechnology, Shyama Singh Balamati Memorial Award, through kind hands of the chief guest. कोई बात नहीं, हम बोल रहे हैं, वो आ रहे हैं, इतना घबराओ मत, कुछ नहीं है। IAAVR फील्ड वेटरिनरियन कुलश्रेष्ठ। Now Dr. Indresh Narayan Kulshrestha has come from Mumbai. He is a very top canine practitioner in the field, and he has done a very long work for the last 28 years in this area. We are pleased to offer you the IAAVR Field Veterinarian Award. Kindly receive it through kind hands of the chief guest.
एसोसिएशन द्वारा अपने अपने विषय के विशेषज्ञों को मोटिवेट करने के लिए यंगस्टर को भी सम्मानित किया जाता है, और उसी श्रृंखला में मैं आमंत्रित करता हूं डॉक्टर हर्षित वर्मा को कि वे आएँ। और माइक्रोबायोलॉजी में उनका अपना कंट्रीब्यूशन है और सोसाइटी उनको ऑनर करती है एक युवा वैज्ञानिक के रूप में, माइक्रोबायोलॉजी के रूप में, डॉक्टर हर्षित वर्मा। दूसरे हैं डॉक्टर लता जैन, ये भी माइक्रोबायोलॉजिस्ट हैं, कृपया वे भी मंच पर आने का कष्ट करें, और उनका भी कंट्रीब्यूशन युवा वैज्ञानिक माइक्रोबायोलॉजी के रूप में राष्ट्रीय स्तर पर सोसाइटी ने रिकॉग्नाइज किया है। मैं उनको आमंत्रित करता हूं, डॉक्टर लता जैन।
Now we request Dr. S.K. Tiwari, the DIG of the SSB, to kindly be on the dais and receive the Canine Excellence Award through kind hands of the chief guest. Lifetime. Last year, this award was given in Bhubaneswar to ITBP, and this year the society has chosen the DIG, the SSB, all ranks veterinarians. Lifetime Achievement Award.
The Lifetime Achievement Award is being bestowed on Dr. Manmohan Singh, IAS, former Vice Chancellor, Sri Venkateshwara Veterinary University. He was born in Chhattisgarh in 1980, acquired his MBSc in 82 from Jabalpur and did MBA Public Service from Birmingham University, UK, 1999-2000. He was the founder, Vice Chancellor of Sri Venkateshwara Veterinary University, Tirupati, and presently is the Principal Secretary. He has many firsts to his credit, established new government sector institutions, prepared draft guidelines for establishing private colleges and polytechnics, and the state has given permission to establish 8 colleges and polytechnics in private sector.
Now, the last award we declare as the Distinguished Veterinarian Award of the Year. We search also, we solicit recommendations also. And we have taken a decision that this award, Professor Dr. Rajkumar Singh is worthy, and we request him to kindly receive this award through kind hands of the chief guest.
Dr. R.K. Singh, Honorable Director and Vice Chancellor of this institute, is decorated with 3 national patents, 14 live attenuated vaccines, has 5 prestigious national awards to his credit, including DBT Tata Innovation Fellowship, Rafi Ahmed Kidwai Award, ICAR Team Research Award, and Special Academic Awards of INAVS. He has also authored 2 books and 15 chapters. So I thank Dr. Rishen Verma sir for nicely conducting the award ceremony and extend my hearty congratulations for all the winners for their commendable contributions they have made to the growth of profession. Now it's time to listen to our leader at this premier institute, who has always believed that reward of the success is the responsibility. He has time and again proved it through his dedicated Dr. Singh is leaving no stone unturned at this premier institute to see that the profession grows. I request him to kindly address the gathering, and I invite with 4 lines which reflect at his working and his humility. सत्य को नम्रता का नमन दीजिए, प्रेम को भावना की लगन दीजिए, हर सफलता चरण चूम ले आपके, कर्म को साध की वो तपन दीजिए. Dr. R.K. Singh sir.
Thank you, Dr. Malik. Respected Honorable Secretary there and DG ICAR Dr. Trilochan Mahapatra ji, Chief Guest of today's function. Respect Dr. Manmohan Singh ji, Special Chief Secretary, Government of Andhra Pradesh, Guest of Honor of today's function. My senior, Dr. San Singh, my colleagues, Dr. Verma, Dr. Mishra, seniors, Professor Uppal, Professor Yadav, Dr. Nagain Sharma, Professor Amresh Kumar, colleagues, Dr. D.T. Maurya, Director NIV Pune, colleagues from ICAR headquarters, Dr. Ashok Kumar, Dr. Basin, colleagues from industry, Dr. D.V.R. Prakash Rao, Dr. Bijay Teng, other colleagues, Dr. G.C. Nag, Dr. S.K. Tiwari ji, Major General M.L. Sharma, CEO, Brooks Hospitals, India. Invited guests are sole guest representative of OIE, all fellow joint directors, head of divisions, director colleagues from INAUGURAL, Dr. Ajo Sharma, Dr. Abhijit Mitra, Dr. B. Tripathi, NRC and Equine, faculty, students, scientists, participants, colleagues from electronic and print media. At the outset, I welcome you once again to this campus, and also congratulations to all the winners. Colleagues, now we are late by 1 hour. So this time we should have been listening to our honorable chief guest of today's function. And after that, then we would have been planning to listen to our illustrious speaker, Professor D.T. Maurya ji, who is here. So I'll go very briefly. You are aware about the seminar, and our colleagues, they had also mentioned about what is the contribution of IVRI. I'll just tell you that in what direction we are moving, because that is important, that contributions are known by people. Many contributions, many vaccines developed. Professor Yadav sir said we had been doing that continuously. What now currently we are working on, after giving a few of vaccines, conventional vaccines, now we are working on a thermostable vaccine for foot and mouth disease. We are working on a combination vaccine where thermostable PPR and goat pox, followed by thermostable PPR and sheep pox. Then we are also working on a multi-component vaccine using sheep pox virus as a vector, where we wish to express PPR foreign antigens. At the same time, we are also working on DOA-capable vaccines, one for brucella, which is already in the last stages of testing in the large animals. We have already purchased the animals. They are under now quarantine and rejuvenation, and this work would start very soon. And another vaccine, we have already the candidate for IBR and infectious bovine rhinotracheitis. This vaccine is also now will be tested under BIREC project with a company. So these are the two candidate vaccines which have a lot of promise. At the same time, now we are going to initiate a new project on developing DOA-capable vaccine for classical swine fever that is also in the offing. This institute has been developing diagnostics, but we know that there is no commercial taker for the diagnostics. And the latest I can say that in the initial part of the 21st century, in 2001, rinderpest competitive ELISA was developed and which was approved by OI, permitted by Government of India for use in rinderpest eradication. IBRI started with rinderpest, and end of rinderpest also occurred with development of a rinderpest competitive ELISA test by IBRI. So that is important. The first vaccine for rinderpest was developed at IBRI Mukteswar campus in 1927. So this becomes a milestone, that first vaccine developed, and then in the last also we developed a test. And following that suit, then we developed a recombinant blue tongue virus BP7 protein antigen diagnostic kit, which we were importing, sir, earlier. 2009, 2003-04 we expressed, and by 2008 we had developed a kit and given it to the whole country is now using since 2008 continuously. This kit is being used for surveillance purpose. So this is how the IAAVR has been developing various diagnostics, vaccine, and moving forward. Now, we also had been discussing that health is one of the important aspects of IAAVR, but should be we limited to that extent. I think being a national institute, we have obligation to work on some of the important aspects of health, which have our production, which have bearing, maybe through health pathway. And that's how now we have already started working on finding out what is the level of the blood in different animals. Like we have now two Indian breeds and one crossbred by S&P typing. We are just trying to see that what is the level of blood present in it, and then what is the correlation with the productivity. Similarly, we have also analyzed all our animals for A1 and A2, and most of the, or rather I can say all of the animals of Indian breed, they are all A2. And now we are trying to establish that is there any relationship between A2, A1 and their productivity of the milk in, of course, with comparison in crossbreeds also. So we have started 3 more projects in breeding. We had Indian Society of Genetics and Breeding Conference, and now we have come out with a recommendation. And one recommendation is, which Honorable DG also suggested me to have a brainstorming session as soon as possible. And now, sir, we have already planned, and I think within a month we'll be convening that brainstorming session at Delhi itself, so that most of the people, they can attend. And that brainstorming session, we have already chalked out a pathway. We'll be putting it to the experts in that brainstorming session, that national workshop, and try to chart out a workable model which can really, which can be really used in the country. Now, most of these seminars what we are conducting for last 3 years, we are not conducting seminars and symposia just for conducting them. But then our sole aim is basically to get 1, 2, 3 things which can really be implemented in the field, in the country, and that has already started happening. And I think this is how, if we go, then there would be a time when there would be impact of convening a seminar at a particular place. While place gets benefit, of course, but then the country has to get benefit. And this is the one way that when we concentrate on 1, 2, 3 points, because we cannot take everything at one point. So if we concentrate on 1, 2, 3 points after prioritization, we can take, we can start working on it, we can make a mark. And that's how now we are doing with all the seminar and symposia. Our work is now very focused, and we wish to take up in a very timely manner, and even development of diagnostics, vaccines, and other works. Now we have a time schedule for delivery, and we are trying to stick, and we are successful also. I can say last 3 years we are not having projects of 3-year mode category. Earlier, there was saying, not saying, but it was understood that no project can be formulated less than 3 years. We said nothing doing, let us have projects only for 2 years, and if it is small, let it be only for 1 year. So I think about 40% projects, they are only for 1 year. So that's how we have moved, and because our Honorable DG is here, I would only assure you, sir, that IAAVR is working in mission mode in a time-bound manner, and then we would deliver as expected by the council. That assurance I can give on behalf of half my colleagues who are sitting here, and also all the colleagues who are not present in the hall where. Thank you so much. I thank all of you for attending the conference, and I know that we have a limited accommodation, that too not very good. So if you are accommodating yourself in this, and I know lapses will be there, they are there. I beg pardon for that, being head of the organization. Kindly bear with us. Thank you so much. Thank you.
And the future guidelines for harnessing the best out of this conference. Today I would like to quote Sir Albert Einstein, who said, "Strive not to be successful, but of great value." These words seems to be befitting to a man whose stature imbibes these words. Not many days have passed when we have listened to his scintillating talk in this very hall, and that energy echoes in the inner being of all of us. We are so proud to have today amongst us our very esteemed head of the family in Honorable Director General ICR and Secretary DAYR, in very revered Dr. Trilochan Mahapatra, sir. We are indeed honored for having acceded to the chief guest of today's function, known as the molecular biologist of international repute and accredited with the first high-yielding basmati rice variety resistant to bacterial leaf, and physical mapping and genome sequencing of rice and tomato. His actions are louder than his stature. His biodata is so, I have read from this platform earlier also, so illuminating, but I would like to say the government of India has picked up him because they believe that the man of his eminence and stature can deliver the things, especially when it comes to double the farmer's income. And the onus lies on all of us to share his burden, his responsibility, so that our actions are transformed into fruits. He bears a smile that is very unique to him. I invite him to the dais on these two lines, which I was looking at how the words can befitting to his personality. I request him to launch the website of IAAVR and then address us, all of us, with his vision and the energy that he imbibes. With these two words, I request you, sir, Zindagi ko, please, sir, Zindagi की तपिश को मुस्कुरा कर झेलिए, जिंदगी की तपिश को मुस्कुरा कर झेलिए, धूप कितनी भी हो पर समंदर सूखा नहीं करते. With these words, I request you to kindly launch this IAAVR website with the click of the button. And now I request sir to kindly that's the webcast of 17th Indian Veterinary Congress going live all over the country. This is a milestone today, and we all are witness to this. I now request Honorable DG Sir to kindly enrich all of us with his words of wisdom, experience. Sir Mahapatra.
Thank you, sir. Thank you very much for your kind words. Very good afternoon to everybody. Thanks, Dr. Malik, for your kind words. We have on the dais Dr. Manmohan Singh, Special Chief Secretary to Government of Andhra Pradesh and guest of honor today. Dr. S.N. Singh, President of this particular association. Dr. Rishendra Verma, Secretary of the Association. Dr. R.K. Singh, Chairman of the Organizing Committee, and also Director and Vice Chancellor of this very prestigious university and institution. Dr. B.P. Mishra, Co-Chairman of the Committee and Joint Director, Indian Veterinary Research Institute.
and many dignitaries of the dais. I might miss some names, but to mention a few, Dr. Uppal, the young man at 80 years, Dr. Yadav, and many others, my colleagues from the headquarters, Dr. Ashok Kumar, and others, the directors of ICAR institutes, Dr. Kataria, Dr. Sharma, Dr. Mitra, maybe somebody else, colleagues from industry who are participating and partnering, the scientists from this institute, the delegates from many different institutions from different parts of the country, the representatives of media, both print and electronic media, research scholars, students, and everybody else who is present here. I might miss the category. On my own personal behalf, I extend a very hearty welcome to each one of you, and also congratulate the President and Secretary of the Society, and also the Chairman and Co-Chairman of the Organizing Committee for first of all having this particular program, which is annual, and also for inviting me. I express my thanks for that. When I was invited, I was reluctant to come because I said that I am not a veterinarian who can actually speak a few words for the success of this particular inaugural session, except handing over mementos, and that is what I can do. But he said, no, you come, so that is what my job is over actually. And I am nobody to speak here and talk to you and speak about what you are doing. And also, I came to learn as head of the council, which looks after not just crop-based agriculture, but also animal and fishery-based agriculture, encompassing all aspects that the farmer deals with. So I must come and understand and also interact. And this is the reason why I'm here, and it's already late. And I didn't want to really delay you further. But before leaving the podium, I'll have a few points to mention. And when I was looking at this particular Congress, that is called 17th Indian Veterinary Congress and National Symposium, the focus is obviously on vaccines and diagnostics for improvement of animal health and productivity, and also genomic interventions for societal benefits. But when I said, can I get the different program for different sessions, and I found there are many different sessions, one talking of One Health, another talking of antimicrobial resistance, and yet another on animal health and production, and of course on vaccines and diagnostics, the new generation vaccines and diagnostics. So in fact, it goes beyond the title. And the organizers have really planned to have a broader perspective, because you can have a focus, you can have also a broader perspective. So this country, Dr. Uppal was talking about that we had many revolutions in the field of animal science and veterinary. This all of you know, I don't have to repeat, whether it is milk production or egg production and contribution of animal husbandry sector to our agricultural GDP. They are so relevant and you all know that. In that context, all of you remain so significant in the context of Indian Council of Agriculture Research and also in the context of Indian agriculture. Friends, such congregations requires that we have to have in-depth discussion on the chosen topics so that the country is guided, and in my case, the council is guided in the form of recommendations that would provide us blueprints and also provide us broad framework for taking the course of action forward with the defined action plans. And I'm sure these deliberations are aimed at such kind of interactions and interfacing to get at such recommendations. This country certainly has done wonderfully well, and certainly you all deserve congratulations. Without your efforts, rinderpest would not have been eradicated. Without your efforts, milk production would not have reached the level that we are maintaining, as Dr. Yadav was mentioning, #1 position for decades. And the growth rate that we have in milk production is something which is unparalleled. In crops sector, we are yet to reach. Suppose we talk of One Health. We'll start with One Health. That's what you are discussing, One Health program. We are doing quite a bit of things. We are interacting with ICMR, and we have initiated something. But a long way to go. Internationally, also a long way to go, but nationally, a far longer way to go. Why I say so? Literature says that every 6 out of 10 human diseases spread from animals. And recent data says every 3 out of 4 emerging diseases in human come from animals. I'm talking of zoonotic diseases. And my friend from OIE is here, we met 2 days before. And we are yet to understand this transition from animal to human and human to animal also. Their establishment and spread, colonization, and the mechanisms which are involved. There are similarities, of course, but there are many questions which are unanswered. And in this One Health program, it's not just zoonotic diseases which matter. When we talk of One Health program, it's a continuum starting from soil to plant to animal to human. It's not just a zoonotic disease, only small component of this One Health program. And I believe the other day there was a function in ICMR, and we study only, even at ICMR also, and at many different levels, we only trying to understand the tip of the iceberg. and a whole lot of things. Our soils are so grossly deficient in micronutrients. We have not been able to address that. So obviously our plants and their products are deficient in micronutrients. We are thinking of fortification of rice and wheat. And enormous amount of effort in past few years has led to development of biofortified crops and varieties. And they are yet to go to the market, yet to go to the farmers, yet to go for animal feed purpose. My colleague at NINP, Dr. Bhatta, says that area-specific mineral mixes they have defined after mapping the nutrient deficiency in soil and understanding the deficiency which is happening all over India. And if you provide those supplements, you can not only improve productivity and also the deficiency thereof in animal products, but also you can eliminate, at least partially, to a certain extent, the infertility problem. So the amelioration of deficiency at the level of soils for the sake of plants to grow and perform and produce adequately enriched with micronutrients, for instance, is essential as much as we talk about animal health and as much we talk about the human health. And probably this whole spectrum is yet to be really characterized properly and addressed properly and adequately, so you meet this requirement of One Health squarely. And I think it's a long way to go, and I hope there will be a lot of deliberation on this particular aspect. I can go on, but I don't want to really elaborate on everything. And similarly, we talk of vaccines and diagnostics. When I was asked that, what is that you have done these 3 years and all that, particularly last year? So I talked to Dr. R.K. Singh and a few others. And I kept yesterday while coming, I put that point, that we developed 3 vaccines and 15 diagnostic kits in past 1 year or so, maybe 1.5 years. And credit goes to all of you who are sitting here. I must congratulate all of you. For it's an enormous, enormous effort. And I find in this list which is given to me that Dr. R.K. Singh said that rinderpest vaccine was developed based on tissue culture in 1927. But the fast vaccine was developed, skilled vaccine, what is called against black quarter in 1906 to 1908. It's a wonderful achievement. A long way we have moved, and moved fantastically well, and developing in the courts wonderful vaccines and diagnostics, and contributing to this milk revolution, the white revolution, the egg revolution, and so on and so forth, even in fishery sector. And this is where we stand, in fact, with tremendous credit. But is it that all we want? The Animal Husbandry Secretary the other day in the directors meet, all the directors of animal science institutes, he said, where is that vaccine which would be thermostable FMD vaccine? We don't have as of today. Dr. R.K. Singh said that they are working. I did visit your IAAVR center in Bangalore, and they promised me that in 1 year time they'll be giving a thermostable vaccine for FMD. And he also asked about vaccines for multiple diseases, a single dose, and you can say whatever name you can give. And we are yet to get. We have several others which are yet to actually achieve. And obviously you can't achieve everything overnight. That's what I did mention. But while saying that on the other side of the table to somebody else, but among us, we have to be critical and then see whether we have delivered as fast as it is required for the country, or we need to accelerate our efforts so that we meet the targets as early as possible. What are the bottlenecks? Can we have a focused program on all these and then deliver within very little time, which is available at our disposal now? Several other things are available. We develop technologies, it doesn't go to field. Artificial insemination, 25% coverage, 30%, 70%, 80% of our coverage, lack of coverage of artificial insemination. So that is another area, but vaccination, I was asking about, PPR vaccine, which was developed, I find, 2002, PPR vaccine between using cell culture attenuated vaccine, which was developed in 2002. And it has not gone to the government schemes as of today. That's what I was told. And probably that area also need to be looked at, how to interface and again work with the private concerns and take it forward. Only few who have the required knowledge and information, they only go for vaccination in case of goats and sheep, but largely they are not. So could there be alternative systems of producing these vaccines? Can we produce them in fodder? So instead of vaccinating, we produce them fodder and goes at the oral vaccines. And they have advantages. So can we really produce? How much we have produced? What attempt we have made to produce vaccines in plants, the animal vaccines in plants. And I know that in case of poultry, that's what I learned from the literature, the Newcastle disease of poultry, the vaccines for that, it has been approved by USDA and has been produced in cell culture, suspension cultures of tobacco. And there are other examples, the human examples, the type 1 collagen, for instance, in tobacco. There are many other examples, successful examples, and this Newcastle disease vaccine in tobacco cell culture is actually approved by USDA. So there are other examples, experimental ones, and they have not really gone to that stage, as I learned from the literature. But probably we have not, I believe, I do not know if somebody is working. At the council, if you are working, kindly inform me so that I am educated and informed. And there are other areas to talk about. Certainly when you talk of genomic interventions, there are many things that we can do and we must do. And if IAAVR cannot start, who else can start? This is my premier institution, and it's not just only for health management and should not be only for health management. I keep talking about this in every forum. And IAAVR has to work on many different diverse aspects in frontier areas of science and also deliver. And leave aside IAAVR, and this is the forum of all the veterinarians in the country working in various areas of science and also delivery so that the animal sector gets a boost in terms of enhancement in productivity and also enhancement of health management. So obviously, when you talk of this, how much we have attempted in terms of genome modifications, which is a frontier areas, one of the frontier areas in science. And I believe some of you might have started. And there are several examples. You know the genetically modified salmon with enhanced yield. And this is approved in the US and being consumed now. And in case of animal system, you know that you can have, say, a wonderful system of zygotic delivery of the CRISPR-Cas, for instance, for genome editing. And you might be knowing the technology better than what I am talking about. And in case of pigs, African swine fever, the genes have been edited, and the pigs have been made tolerant or resistant to African swine fever. And this is the report which I have taken from the literature. And you might be knowing better than me about this success story of using genome editing technology for African swine fever resistance or tolerance in case of pigs. And this has been done at the University of Edinburgh, Roslin Institute. And efforts are being made to have hornless cattle. And several other attempts are being made. And in this era of genomics, with all these sequences available with us, genome sequences, several of transcriptome sequences available with us, huge sequence database available with us, genes predicted to the extent of 80% accuracy, and the transcriptomics aiding to validation of the genes which are predicted by way of genome sequencing. So, my dear colleagues and friends, the sky is the limit. But do we have the expertise to understand and analyze this huge amount of genomic sequence data which are emerging in the global scenario? And you can freely download and analyze the data and identify the genes, and then try to modify it, target it for editing. How much genes we understand today for the purpose of modification. And tomorrow's world is the precision agriculture world. If we talk of precision agriculture and precision health management system, can we identify the gene which is responsible for susceptibility? The gene responsible for susceptibility to a particular disease in animal system, and silence that disease or edit that disease, mutate that disease, delete some sequences of that particular gene, and then make the animal resistant and non-responding to the disease. Mutate the receptor of the particular pathogen ligand which is going to bind to the receptor. In the process, the receptor is not able to bind to that particular protein and recognize that in the process doesn't allow the pathogen to establish or proliferate in the animal system, the bird system. Can we really do this and think about it and debate about it and discuss about it? And in such fora, it should be really discussed. And similarly, there could be many other things when you talk of, editing the genomes for tomorrow. For tomorrow, and US considers this as a non-GM system. And there is scope for segregation, and there is also scope for non-transformational means of introducing CRISPR-Cas and in the process modifying the target gene. Don't have to transform genetically, transfer the genes for CRISPR and Cas, and then go for modification. You can otherwise do it. There are examples. And my dear friends and colleagues, there are many other things in genomics that can be. For instance, we understand very little in the country on the role of small RNAs in disease manifestation or resistance manifestation. In this country, 80% of the animals are nondescript. Nondescript, we don't understand them. They survive. They are not, in fact, the health management has not reached them. They are just there. What kind of resistance they have? They provide enormous opportunity for us to work on them, to understand the human health management. We have gone in one route of developing vaccines because we know the viruses particularly and the bacteria. But understanding the other side of the story, the resistant stocks which are available in this country, the carriers, they don't express and manifest the disease, but they carry the pathogen. And what is that which enables us and what enables them to carry and sustain it without affecting their performance and their life? So they just leave and they perform without expressing the disease. There will be enormous opportunity for us to really understand and discuss it out. And epigenome, how do we understand the epigenome of the stressed animals, for instance? Very little. And protein level, my colleague Dr. Mohanty is here, has started something. It's a long way to go in protein, because protein and metabolite is the ultimate which interact in many different ways, not only among themselves but with the environment. How do they interact for disease expression? How do they interact for stress tolerance? In today's era of climate change, we must be working enormously and adequately on the stress management, particularly abiotic stress management. We have such wonderful strains like Tharparkar in case of cattle, and also Sirohi in case of goat, and many others, and there is a long way to go. And we don't talk about the genetic modification of individuals in this seminar, and probably you can have a focus seminar on how do we genetically modify the animal system. Today, the country needs the genetic enhancement, improvement of local herds, local breeds. How do we do that? Many years ago we started, but we lost the way in between. And probably this is time to go back and then start from the point where we left and got diverted, and then initiate those works so that we have faster improvement of our local breeds, and that's the country needs. Without injecting the exotic genomes into the local genomes, but within local genomes we can reshuffle, and there are plenty of opportunities to do that. And given that, we have technologies available with us. And not only that, there are many other things that are there. We succeeded in cloning. They're all demonstrated that are kind of, proof of concept that we can do cloning. Beyond that, we haven't done much. And you must deliberate. What is that we want to do in cloning? Not just to demonstrate that it works, but how to take commercial advantage of this cloning process. We have not been able to do that. The threatened ones to be cloned and multiplied, or for the purpose of supplying sufficient amount of semen, we should like to clone our bulls, the plus bulls, what we call in case of forest species, which is plus trees. And we can identify these plus bulls and then clone them, plenty. So that I talked to Secretary Animal Husbandry. He was thrilled to know that we are going to clone. That's what we are initiating program, that clone these bulls and a few bulls. So I'm told it's difficult in cattle. And why it should be difficult in cattle? Because plenty of availability of the kind of oocytes. So this is what you have to really discuss. What could be the way out? That must be way out. And there are many other areas where you will be deliberating. Probably these 3-4 areas which you have mentioned here. I should not go beyond this. And I can keep talking. It's already 1:10, and I don't want to really take more time. I only highlighted a few points, and there are many other points. I don't understand much of your subject, but whatever little I could learn from the literature, I have placed before you. A long way to go for all of us, as I see, and we will be extremely benefited from your rich experience that all of you have, and from the kind of work you have been doing for such a long time. I'm sure you will provide, out of these 2 days deliberation, recommendations, and that would enrich us, that would enable us to provide solutions that the country is confronted with, the kind of problems that you see, and we need solutions for them. And semen sexing is one. And I read that in West, they don't want to eliminate males. They want only males because they want more muscles. And males have more muscles than females. And the more muscles means better meat. They want only males. And we want only females. So probably that's another area. And you should be able to discuss and deliberate and give me ideas so that I work on. And I'm ready to work on 24 hours. And you have to help me to work and deliver. That's what the present government wants. Action points, and you have to be on those action points day in and day out so that you and me succeed. And with these words, I once again thank the organizer for giving me this opportunity to be here, to learn, and also to say a few points from the literature so that I get some replies from you, some guidelines from you, some help from you. With these words, thank you very much. Wish the program all the best, and also all the success. And thanks to all of you once again. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for generously sharing your vision in the frontal areas of veterinary science. In the larger...
ऐसा है, एक बात जो मैं बोलता दूँ, I must congratulate IVRI. When I say IAAVR doesn't work on everything, doesn't mean that IAAVR doesn't work on anything. IAAVR is a tremendous contribution. You must give a big hand to IAAVR. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much, sir, for your encouragement. And we take the word of wisdom from you that pursuit of perfection is the pursuit of sweetness and light that you have talked about. And we are quite hopeful that as a family we will be able to deliver to the expectation of the nation. We once again are always will remain indebted to you for your gracious presence, the pains that you have taken to enlighten us today. Now, on behalf of the organizers, we would like to present some of the mementos so that the memories of these special times remains alive in your heart. So Dr. Rishen Verma and the other organizers, they will be offering this shawl as a token of our respect and love to our head of the family, who is always there to lead us in all our endeavors, to enlighten us, to guide us, to energize us. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our love and affection. Once again, I request the organizers to please present this memento to our Honorable Guest of Honor, Dr. Manmohan Singh Ji, Special Chief Secretary, Government of Andhra Pradesh, who has been kind enough to grace today's function and guide us in our all the endeavors. Thank you very much, sir, for accepting our love and affection. The organizers also wants to felicitate our Honorable Director and Vice Chancellor of this institute for all his enthusiasm, for all his help in organizing this gala event. Thank you very much, sir, to all of you. Now it's time to say few words from the core of the heart, and a noble heart can perform this function of saying the great words of gratitude. So I invite the energetic Vice President of the Association, Dr. R.K. Bhagerwal, to please propose the vote of thanks. Dr. Bhagerwal, please.
थैंक यू डॉक्टर मलिक सर। IAAVR के 17वें पशु विज्ञान कांग्रेस एवं राष्ट्रीय संगोष्ठी के मंच है मैं दर्शक दीर्घा में बैठे सभी का हृदय से स्वागत करता हूँ। इट्स वेरी डिफ़िकल्ट टू नेम एवरीबडी, बट जिन लोगों को हमने सुना है, जिन लोगों को हमने सम्मान किया है, जिन लोगों को ऑनर किया है, वो हमारे लिए रियली सोर्स ऑफ इंस्पायरेशन है, मोटिवेशन है और वर्ड्स ऑफ इनकरेजमेंट है। मैं दर्शक दीर्घा में बैठे हुए सभी का एक बार से स्वागत करता हूँ, खासकर जिन लोगों के नाम पहले लिए जा चुके हैं लेकिन कुछ छूट गए हैं, लेकिन जो मुझे जानकारी दी गई उसमें डॉक्टर PN त्रिपाठी NRC हिसार, डॉक्टर अर्जन शर्मा डायरेक्टर CIRC, डॉक्टर अभिजीत मित्रा NRC मिथुन, डॉक्टर AKS त्यागी ADG एनिमल हेल्थ और OI के जो स्पेशल रिप्रेजेंटेटिव हैं वो हमारे बीच उपस्थित हैं, उनका भी मैं हृदय से स्वागत करता हूं। इसके अतिरिक्त इस कांग्रेस को मूर्त रूप प्रदान करने के लिए जिन लोगों ने सहयोग दिया है वो कारपोरेट और अनेक सेक्टर्स हैं, इनके नाम मैं बोलता हूं। इंडोवैक्स, ग्लोबियान, VH ग्रुप, अर्जुन, PFM, जाइडस एनिमल हेल्थ, एलम्बिक, बायोवेट, एलेंको, इंडियन हॉर्स, वेंको, PVT, कर्पिश और प्रकाश फूड एंड मिल, इन सबका भी मैं एक बार हृदय से आभारी हूँ, जिन्होंने इस इंडियन वेटनरी कांग्रेस की रग में रग भर के इसे मूर्त रूप प्रदान किया। इसके अतिरिक्त यहाँ पर बैठे हुए सभी मीडिया का मैं प्रभारी हूँ, जिनके माध्यम से जो कांग्रेस की छवि है और जो सोसाइटी ने हमारा जो अचीवमेंट किया है वो समाचार पत्रों के माध्यम से पूरे देश में जाएगा। यहाँ पर मैं यह भी बताना उचित समझता हूँ कि आज के दिन हमारा जो कांग्रेस 17वां हुआ है, ये गौरव का दिन है, क्योंकि इसके माध्यम से आज पूरे इंडिया और पूरे विश्व ने वेबसाइट पे इसका लॉन्चिंग हुआ है और ये कार्यक्रम का प्रसारण 2 दिन तक पूरे इंडिया और ऑल ओवर कंट्री और ऑल ओवर वर्ल्ड में देखा जा सकेगा। वेबसाइट है www.iavr.org और IVRI जिनके तत्वाधान में ये हुआ है IVRI@nic.in पर। मैं मंच के माध्यम से डायरेक्टर RK सिंह साहब का हृदय से आभारी हुआ हूँ, क्योंकि उन्होंने इस सोसाइटी को मंच दिया। इसके अतिरिक्त महापात्रा साहब का हृदय से आभारी हूँ। उन्होंने अपने शब्दों में कहा है कि मैं वेटनरियन नहीं हूँ, लेकिन उन्होंने वेटनरी के बारे में बहुत कुछ इतना कह दिया है कि वो हमारे लिए सोर्स ऑफ इंस्पायरेशन है। मैं उनका भी डीप रिगार्ड करता हूँ। मनमोहन सिंह साहब हमारे मध्य प्रदेश के ऐसे चुनिंदा वेटनरियन हैं जिनकी हमें अभिभूति हमेशा रहती है, उनका मैं हृदय से आभारी हूँ। इसके अतिरिक्त मैं SN सिंह साहब का और डायरेक्टर IVRI के केडराट साहब का उनका भी हृदय से आभारी हूँ कि उन्होंने हमें इतना समय दिया। एक बार और जय भारत, जय हिंद, थैंक यू वेरी मच।
धन्यवाद आप सबका। इससे पहले कि हम विसर्जित हों, मैं
इम्पॉर्टेंट ये है कि डिपार्चर के लिए डेस्क होगी IGH पे। जिन्होंने डिपार्चर नहीं दिया है उनसे करवद अनुरोध है, काइंडली गिव योर डिपार्चर एंड टाइम एंड द लोकेशन वेयर यू आर स्टेइंग to make your transport smooth. And secondly, there is a general body meeting at 6 p.m. in the Animal Nutrition Division committee room. So all our members are requested to kindly join the general body meeting. Thank you.
धन्यवाद। आप सभी को हृदय से धन्यवाद। आपके शुभागमन से मन का कुसुम खिल गया, कष्ट हुआ आपको, गौरव हमारा बढ़ गया। इन आने वाले 2 दिनों में हम अपने हृदय में ईश्वर को साक्षी मानकर, जैसा हमारे माननीय मुख्य अतिथि महोदय ने कहा, देश के हित को सर्वोपरि रख अपने आप को समर्पित करेंगे इस संस्थान, इस कांग्रेस के माध्यम से, क्योंकि हकीकत में बदलने को सपन भी तो ज़रूरी है, सुनहरा लक्ष्य पाने को जतन भी तो ज़रूरी है। इस मुस्कान के पीछे छुपे आंसू ये कहते हैं, धरा उर्वर बनाने को तपन भी तो ज़रूरी है। इन्हीं शब्दों के साथ मैं आप सबसे निवेदन करता हूँ कि इस राष्ट्र को, जहाँ हमें सौभाग्य मिला जन्म लेने का, इनका वंदन करते हैं इस राष्ट्र का, इस राष्ट्रगान के माध्यम से। कृपया आप सब खड़े हों। धन्यवाद। आप सबका बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। आप सभी से अनुरोध है कि कृपया आप चाय के रसास्वादन के बाद पुनः यहाँ एकत्रित हों, जिससे हम प्लेनरी सेशन में अब इस कार्यक्रम को आगे बढ़ा सकें। आप सबका हृदय से बहुत बहुत धन्यवाद। We will be assembling in this very hall for the plenary session after having the tea. Thank you very much.